I'm not going to waste your time with this one. Godzilla Minus One is just simply not a woke film. I'm talking zero racial diversity, zero LGBTQ representation, zero toxic masculinity and feminist messaging, zero traditions bad, progressivism good, and zero anti-capitalism / pro-socialism. This film flies in the absolute face of wokeness. I was even getting to the point thinking, is it anti-woke? But no, it's not an anti-woke film. It's just simply a normal movie with traditional values, that universal truths, things that we used to understand as a society are just the basic norms of what we would do in in a situation like if Godzilla ever came along. I feel like if he came along today, we would not treat things the way that they treat it in this film. And so this film it's about these people who are downtrodden, about a main character who is ashamed of himself, and he picks himself up, and the country picks themselves up to try and overcome this threat that they're in the face of already terrible disaster, calamity, and famine, and all these terrible things that they'd already faced in World War II, and now they're just trying to come out of that, and this greater threat comes along. Hollywood should look at this film and be absolutely ashamed of themselves. Like the fact that they cannot release a single film that is just devoid of identity politics is just, it's ridiculous. And meanwhile, the Japanese come along and make a film like this that it just puts all the most of blockbusters that Hollywood releases to shame. There's no messaging, no wokeness in this thing whatsoever. It's a complete breath of fresh air. And I really like this film. I didn't think it was great. I thought it was really good. But, if I'm talking about the wokeness here, I mean, it was such a breath of fresh air. The film just really understands how the real world works. The idea that in this disaster, the men are doing their best to take care of the women, who are obviously, and then the children to provide for them and help them, keep them safe. Like, these are things that we used to understand is just the normal thing to do, and it's just completely lost on a lot of the Western countries today. But yeah, it shows, if you're a man, this is your responsibility to do this. And you see the military, the guys that come together, I should say the militia, to take down Godzilla. It's all men. That's how it would have been in the 1940s. There's not going to be any badass, strong, independent women showing up to fight Godzilla. No, and so it gets things right. It shows there's a idea of like sense of belief in country and pride in your country, something that American films for the most part are devoid of these days. And they just, it really is does not apologize for being proud of being Japanese, to even despite the fact that they're coming out of World War II where they were the bad guys, and yet here they are, the people are just picking themselves up to doing whatever they can just to overcome this disaster. And so there's so much positive things, and the anti-government messaging of this film is incredible. The idea that they, in the face of the government and the military is not going to help them in this scenario. So basically just everyday people have to come together, citizens, to take down Godzilla. And it's really great stuff, and really positive messaging. And like I said, it's almost on the brink of being anti-woke. So if you're thinking about seeing Godzilla Minus One while you still have the chance, definitely go see it. It's completely devoid of wokeness, but more importantly, it's just a really good movie. So you just have nothing to worry about in that regard. It's crazy to think that it's almost the Japanese understand, even though they're quite westernized these days, they understand the West, American culture, like whatever you want to say, European. It's like they understand those fundamentals better now than what even the West does. So it's quite funny to think of that, but also quite sad when you really think about it and how far Hollywood has fallen. And that's what this film highlights to me more than anything, is that it's just, wow, they're able to achieve this as such a small film, independent film, and it puts Hollywood to shame. So definitely go check out the film. I highly recommend it. It's a really good, solid film, but just completely devoid of wokeness. And so keeping this one short and sweet, nothing to talk about here when it comes to the wokeness of this film. I just thought I wanted to make the video anyways, just to let you all know that not only is it not woke, it is actually actively doing some very nice traditional things in it, so that I think you'd really enjoy. So that's my overall thoughts on this one, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Give it a like and subscribe to my channel, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.